Alex, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a really long time since I shared any videos with you guys in this channel, but I feel like it's the right time to come back. We are halfway through the year. I pretty much want 2020 to be over. This whole pandemic thing has just been crazy with this quarantine, and I've been super busy because I do work in the sector. We provide masks and such to different hospitals. So we've been extremely busy in my company. Well, it's not my company, but the company that I work for. So I have been working nonstop. I took 2 weeks off just recently. Today's my last day off. So I thought I would get this video done before things get busy again, and I would share an update of what my planner system is currently looking like. I will say that ever since we started quarantine, I kind of stopped using my planners from March on, and I've just recently started using them again. The only planner that I've kept on using is this really simple, you might have seen this planner in my Instagram if you follow me. If you don't, I'll be leaving the link around here. But this is my new work planner. I switched it up because I was using, if you guys remember, the Day Designer, and this is an 18 or 24 month planner. I don't even remember anymore. No, this is a 12-month planner, but it has from July 2019 to June 2020. So I switched it up because it was almost over, and now I'm using a much smaller notebook, and it's spiral bound as well, and I just really love it. So this has been my companion all of these past months. So not much on the personal side, but on the work side, I've been planning a lot. So I'm going to jump in and give you guys a little bit of a flip through of each planner and how I've been using it up until March, and how I'm gonna replan to use it now, what I'm going to be doing from now on for the rest of the year. So let's start first with my personal planner, which is this one right here. This is the Hobonichi Weeks, and this is my personal planner. I haven't done much to it, as you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can get a closer look. There we go. So the only thing that I've done is I added this sticker over here because I wanted to use this as my word of the year. Obviously, I haven't done any word of the year because the word of the year could be "it sucks" or "let's finish 2020." But either way, I wanted to have a motivational front page. I just printed this sticker and wrote "create your own future." We just want a nice future. I still have my bunny pictures. As you guys know, maybe you don't, but me and my boyfriend did get a new puppy because Maggie passed away last year, so we needed a pet in our lives, and so we got a new puppy. He's a yellow lab, Labrador Retriever. His name is Jack. I'll pop in a few pictures around here so you guys can take a look at him. And he does have his own Instagram account, so feel free to follow his adventures and our adventures. He's extremely cute, very hyper sometimes, but he's such a good boy, so we're extremely happy. I'm thinking I might cover up one of these two photos and put a picture of him, but right now I still love looking at my Maggie. She is the sweetest little bunny that I've ever had, and the only bunny I've ever had. But yeah, my Hobonichi is looking the same. I haven't done much to this spread. I did section off sick days and vacation days, so I highlighted those in the calendar. Over here I started tracking my menstrual cycle, and then towards March again I stopped using the planner, so I didn't track anything. And then I've been using my monthly pages. Really simple. February and then March. Obviously I still had things filled out from before, so it's not extremely empty, but yeah. And then this is June, and July we're starting to fill it back up again with appointments and whatnot. I move around my tab over here. And moving on to my weekly pages, let's start off with January. Or maybe if you want to check out December. I'm not even sure if I shared with you guys December. I will do it so now. So basically, I've been using the left side to track daily to-dos, just quick highlights of the day that I need to track. And over here, a weekly to-do, and I'm using the bullet journal method to check off my tasks. Very minimal. I sometimes do a habit tracker, sometimes I do a to-buy list, but basically it's the to-do list mostly. And again, all of these pages are filled out. I love the crinkly of the Hobonichi paper, the Tomoe River. When it's all filled out, there's barely any stickers. It's all pen and ink. And I really love the way it feels, the paper. It's like a little, I don't know what the word is, but I just really love the way it feels. So we are in January now. More pages from January. I sometimes would write a really long to-do list. Other times it was just pretty simple. But as you can see, I was using it a lot for January and February. And then we are getting into March, and I think around this time, yep, around the 9th of March, I was already in quarantine. I was working from home, so I kind of stopped using this planner. I had a lot of things filled out because I like to fill out my holidays, my birthdays, and any events that are going on in the month, but honestly, I was not even checking my planner. As you can see, I just have some birthdays. I would not write anything on the right side, no to-dos. My birthday was spent at home, nothing special, just with my puppy. And yeah, so this is April. And then this week I started filling it out again, but no special weekly to-dos. Then on the 4th of May, I went back to the office, started working at the office again. May is not filled out at all. And June isn't practically either. And then I think around, here we go, my vacation week, I kind of started filling it out again. And yeah, that's this week right now that we're currently on. So that's been happening. And then in my notes section, I did add a few things. So I washi taped, or I glued in, sorry, this lunar calendar. This is from Ezzy Spencer's Lunar Abundance book. She comes out with a calendar every single year to track the moon phases. Honestly, I'm not even tracking the moon phases anymore, but this is like a nice little reference in case I do want to get back to that. So I just stuck it all the way in the front, and then I have a few personal note pages back here. I haven't been using this section much, but I do have a few personal lists which I won't be sharing in this video, but just know that the paper here is used for notes. And that's in regards to my personal planner. I'm gonna keep using it the same way, writing my weekly to-dos and daily to-dos on the left side. So that's been what's been going on with that planner. The next planner that I shared with you guys in my multiple planner system video, which I will be tagging above so you guys can check it out. This is my health and well-being planner. This is a Kimbor planner from AliExpress. I really like it because it's extremely similar to the weeks, the Hobonichi weeks. It's a much cheaper version. Obviously the paper is not the same, but it is the same, has the same functions and uses. So this is my well-being or my health planner. So over here in the yearly overview, I wanted to track when I had doctor's visits. So in January I had quite a few, so I wrote those down there. I haven't been keeping up to date, but I could add a few that I've had in here in July. So I might just fill that in later so that it's there. And then in my monthly view, what I was doing, I was tracking because I had quite a few things that I was taking, not like drugs or anything, but I was taking some natural medicine, some aloe vera, and just things to help with my stomach problems. So I would keep a log on the monthly pages of when I would take those natural medicines and whatnot. And if I skipped a day or I skipped one of those medicines, I would put it in red. And if I took it, I would put it in black. So I did that for the month of January and February, and then as you can see, March I kind of stopped. So I'm no longer tracking that because I am no longer taking any more medicine. So we'll see what I use the monthly pages for. Good thing that I haven't filled out the entire year, just because now I can go ahead and skip to July or August if I want to, and I would still have plenty of monthly pages left for the rest of the year or the following year if needed. As for the weekly pages, I mentioned to you guys that I was going to use it the same way April from Penguins Creative was using her weeks. So basically on the left side, I was tracking my meals. So I would write breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, and dinner, and I would write down what I ate. And on the right side, I was writing some emotional thoughts and how I was feeling physically and mentally on that day, and I would do that in a blue ink just so that I could use my different Hobonichi pens and different inks. So I did that for quite a few weeks. Sometimes I would skip a few weeks, but I did that for the end of January. Then I started in February. As you can see, there were some days where I didn't fill it out just because I wasn't keeping up with it. This is still February. Then we came into March. And around February, I signed up for an online coaching program for just to get healthier and physically well. So I started using an application that the coach gave me. So all of that is digital on my phone. So I'm not really using this notebook for that either. I'm tracking my meals and my exercise in the app, so there's not really a need for me to use this planner anymore. But either way, it is here in case I need it, and because I haven't filled out the entire year, I can just come back to it whenever I want because it is undated. So that's a good thing about this planner, and this is how I've been using it, although I don't think I'm going to be using it anymore, at least for now. Alright, moving on to my next planner. It's the Hobonichi A6 with the full year. This is the original one. Okay, I have it stored in this cover with this clear cover on cover, and I put this little stitch die cut so that it just stands out. And I really love the way it looks, and it pops the little circle colors. So I use this planner as my creative journal. Honestly, I haven't really used it much this year. I've decorated the front cover a little bit. Let me zoom in again. So I've decorated the front cover with a few die cut stickers and just regular planner stickers, quotes. I put in some ephemera that I've had lying around. Not much going on. I don't really pay attention to the pockets, but when I do get little like goodies like these and goodie bags, most of these are from PlannerCon Europe. I like to store them in here just because it makes, you know, like a nice little accessory for the pockets. So like I mentioned, this planner is my creative journal. I don't use the yearly spreads, as you can see, and I don't use my monthly spreads. This was bought with the intention to only use the daily spreads. So let's begin with January. This is just a little glance, and so you guys can get an idea of how I've been using it. Although, again, like I mentioned, I haven't been using it much, but this was the initial idea of the purpose of this planner. So I've been printing out Ferris wheel press printables. These are like little monthly calendars that you can color in. I like the way it looks black and white. So I've been putting that in the beginning of each month. Honestly, I've only done it for for January and February. And I think in March, it's when I printed out March too. I put a little bit of washing on this side just because I sized down the printable so that it would fit into the A6, and then I had a little bit of margin left over. And then I think I did April. Oh look, I did April too. And I stopped in May. Yeah. So what I've been doing is just doing a little bit of daily highlights, decorating here and there, using markers, different pens, adding pictures with my zinc printer, being creative on a daily basis. And then for January, I did do a couple of pages, and then what I would do when I didn't have the time to actually sit down and decorate or bring out my art supplies, I would use some post-its and write down what I did that day so that when I did have time to decorate, I could just sit down and rewrite everything. But as you can see, the entire month of January, I did pretty well writing what I was doing until a few days, but I didn't decorate it. So I'm planning on doing that soon. And then February, I did decorate like 2 pages, and then I stopped, and I didn't even record what I did those days. I do have a few little things here and there, but not much. And then March is basically empty the entire month, so I don't really know what happened here except a few things like getting my puppy and whatnot. So I might go back and maybe even film a few journal with me videos with you guys so that you guys can see my process when I do decorate in here. But I did start in July getting back to the groove, so I have to print out the Ferris wheel press printable, but I have been doing a really good job with that so far. So that is my creative journal. I'm kind of sad that this whole first 6 months will be kind of empty, but I'm looking forward to seeing the other half filled out with a bunch of memories and photos and just like being artsy and creative in this little journal. Alright, the next planner that I'm going to talk about is my work planner. Again, I can't show much because it does have sensitive information, but basically this is an undated A5 planner. It has monthly and weekly views, and I got this from Amazon. It was really, really cheap. I liked it because it was super simple, minimalistic, it was undated, it's spiral bound, and I can just carry it with me back and forth from the office to my house in case I need to work remotely. So let me give you just a little bit of a glance of what the pages look like inside. This has a yearly overview, kind of like the Hobonichi and whatnot. So I'm using this to track my holidays or vacation days. Let me see if I can share a month. Okay, so we have, this is a month at a glance. It's a 2-page spread. I've already taken the liberty of filling out the entire year. So I'm doing it very, very simple. I'm just circling the month and then adding the actual month name. So I've filled out all of the days with just simple pen and ink or whatever. And then for 2021, in case I do decide to stay in this planner, I will have to fill out those days. Now let's do a weekly spread. So this is what the weekly spread looks like. It is a horizontal view on the left, and then you have a bunch of writing space. This is all lined to write out your weekly to-dos. So I am not using the weekdays. They are split in half on the bottom, so I'm not using those. And what I do is I white out the little weekday name, and I use this space to write out additional notes for my job. And then over here, I will do like a weekly to-do list, and then just here, certain appointments and things that come up. Over on the back, we have a bunch of grid empty pages. And over here, I like to track, I did a really small pen test because again, I'm not using this as a decorative planner. This is purely functional for work and to get my things in check and in order and organized. So I write here just a few tracking numbers and things like that. Like I mentioned, I do work for a company that imports materials, so I like to keep track of all the shipping notices and things. And then over here in the back, you have like a little schedule, world map, and time. You have here a space to write down your personal information. And then you have like a little envelope here that you can move around. It is punched in, so you can't actually take it out, but it comes in handy if you need to stick papers inside. And in here I have a few phone numbers in case I need to call anybody from home or from work. So this is the planner. It is from the brand Papyrian. Not sure how you pronounce that, but I really love it. I think it came in like 4 different colors, and I got this honey yellow looking one. I just really like it. Super, super simple. And again, I am keeping it as minimal as possible just so that it stays functional in my daily to-dos. And last but not least, this is my goal planner. I shared with you guys in my last video where I did my multiple planner system that I had taken the time last year to write out the entire Power Sheets planner in my A5 Hobonichi plain notebook. It took so long, and honestly, I only did until June. This is where we left off. And as you can see, I have not filled out practically anything. I stopped using it around April. Maybe I filled out a few pages here and there, but honestly, I have not been using it. And I feel kind of sad because I took a really, really long time, but I didn't even fill out like the beginning pages, which was the most exciting part for me. I stopped around here, so I had all of this to do. And I'm kind of sad that this planner has not been used because again, I really love the paper, I love the size, and it turned out really nice and too because I had done all of the tabs and everything. But yeah, so let's see if I can show you like a different month. So basically every single tab had like a cardboard here, and then I would write out like what I'm looking forward to doing for the following month, if I had anything scheduled. These are going to be my tending list action items, my goals and action ideas, and then this would be the month in review, and then we would move on to the next month. and as you can see, I've not been using it. I don't know if I will pick it up again. I'm not too excited about it, so I might just leave it in the back burner for now. And if I do want to reorganize my goals and think about them, I will come back to this planner. And then I also had a bunch of note pages in the back, and I started reading a book by Marie Forleo. It's called Everything is Figure Outable. And at the end of each chapter, she does have like a series of questions and action items that you can do. So I wanted to use that and fill them out by handwriting everything in this back part of the notebook, because I do have a bunch of note pages left. But I don't know if I will do that or not. It does take a lot of time, but if I do, this is a space for it. And if I do any like special reading and I want to take notes, I might just use this notebook for that, along with any goal planning that I want to do. So that is this, and I've stored it inside my A5 Hobonichi cover. This is actually an old cover from 2015, I believe, and all I did was I stuck some scrapbook paper in between the clear cover on cover and the actual cover. As you can see, the cover, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's grayish color. And what I did is I added this scrapbook paper that has like a floral background because it looks really nice. So I've been using this to protect the actual notebook. So there you have it. These are my current planners and how I've been using them up until March. And what I intend to keep on using are basically these three right here for now, which is my work, my creative journal, and my personal planner. And these two, if I do end up using them, they do have the space because this is undated. I can still pick this up in case I need any well-being tracking. And this has the whole goal-oriented planner feeling, so in case I want to come back to it, I still have the room in here. But basically, these three are my current setup right now. I will film Hobonichi flip through maybe of my creative journal. I still have my 2019 to show you guys that I've been promising for like forever. So I will get down to filming that pretty soon, hopefully. I don't want to promise anything that I can't do, but crossing my fingers that that will happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you a few ideas in case you're still kind of thinking of what to do with your planners, or you're like me and you didn't really pay attention to your planners during the beginning of the year. It's never too late. Your planners are always here waiting for you. So just jump right in. Don't be afraid to have empty pages. These things happen and it's not that big of a deal if you think about it. So I hope that everybody is staying safe and that you are using common sense to keep yourself and your loved ones around you protected. So I will talk to you guys in a next video. Bye everybody, and thanks so much for watching.